Sheila slid me a vague smile as one of her red curls tickled her mouth. Curls like you'd find on a nasty cool sorceress like Daria in the Butcher Knight comics from Top Cow. Daria was one wicked lady, but you kinda wanted to be her because no one messed with her hells-a-poppin' attitude during the series' lamentably short run. Sadly, I'm no ultra girl myself. No flowy hair or smart aleck power to defeat villains with a single verbal punch. I'm just your everyday happy-go-lucky lightweight whose powers had waned after a horrendous breakup nearly a year ago. Anyway, I've actually been a lightweight ever since my first taste of beer in college, when I had a whole can and ended up blubbering to Sheila all night about the word sources, and how if you repeated it 100 times it started to sound like Gaelic and even sort of Martian. She'd listened with sober patience, patted my back every time I got emotional about my inability to correctly enunciate the R in sources, and then helped me to my feet, when I all of a sudden found myself on my back instead of sitting upright. A single can of beer. I guess you could say liquor is my tasty downfall. "Hey," Sheila said, nodding toward Jack Redding. "That guy's looking over here. What do you think?" I believe I squeaked or something. My quiet adoration was about to explode into reality. Time for an end zone dance. Instead, I asked cluelessly, "Who's looking?" "Jack Redding, that's who. But play it cool, Mandy. Just act inaccessible and enigmatic." "Cutie pie over there," Sheila said. "I don't see a... Oh, wait. You mean Jack Redding? Yeah, he's okay. He's an inker for the company." "What's an inker again?" I drew in the air with a finger. The country singers and romance writers of the comic industry. They work their derrieres off but get no respect. Sheila awed. Sort of like comic books themselves. You got it. I couldn't resist going into geek mode. Being an inker and a person who either creates or reads comic books is a double negative whammy. Almost like being the kid in the X-Files fan club who no one wants to hang out with because they're too much of a dweeb. Inkers are spit on twice by whatever defines normalcy. My friend stared at me, and I could tell she was worried that I needed to be cut off from the sangria. "Chasing Amy explains the concept really well," I added. "Oh, that movie about the confused girl and Ben Affleck, who made her even more confused?" There. I'd known Sheila would understand the movie translation of real life. We'd talked the same pop culture language forever. Although I have to say that, ever since she'd come back from an extended trip to her aunt's in Manhattan after college graduation, I'd wondered. Well, no biggie. But sometimes she cocked her eyebrow at me these days, like she didn't get me as much as she used to. I went on. So the guy who drew over Ben Affleck's original drawings was an inker. What they do is, not to get technical or anything, but they add definition to the penciled images and story panels. But, as the movie points out, inkers are not tracers. Sounds like they are. Shh, they'll go turbo if you say that. They've got a complex. If you happen to chat with an inker tonight, just tell them how cool it is that they bring out the best in other people's work. You can't go wrong saying something like that. Sheila grinned over the rim of her drink, wicked Del Mar party thoughts dancing in her eyes. Was she thinking about Jack Redding? I wonder if he's worth my effort.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.